Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics, Known Classics. This is episode number 2078, Doubleshot number 1972. Well, first we're going to start with issues of Superboy Volume 6. Now, the thing with these issues are, they're from two different trades. Now, the thing is, I have discussed already, like in the case of Volume 3, I discussed most of the trade already because of the tie-in to Hell on Earth. That was a crossover that came out back in, I believe it was 2012, I believe it was. So that's when it came out. Yep. So, I have already reviewed the opening 7 issues of the series, this run, plus reviewed the issues that deal with the culling. These next 3 issues here, I'm basically reviewing, okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm reviewing issues 10 to 12, 0, 18, 19, and the annual. That's reviewing first, plus a Superman trade. First up, we have issue number 10 for Superboy, which I believe with next issue, Tom the Falcon Brief takes over as the writer for the book. Now, this book here is basically Superboy team up with Wonder Girl. It's basically kind of like a romantic story of these two just end up in the island that basically also is in Teen Titans. Here's the strange thing about this book, is that this book, where it ends, it leads into Teen Titans issue number 10. Of Volume 4. Also done by Scott Lobdell, but different artwork per se. This mostly put as them basically just working together. There's some romantic chemistry between the two of them. I gotta admit, basically, it doesn't feel very forced as, let's say, another romance that by another writer that a lot of people don't like. This romance basically feels like it's very much building, lots building here, and that this is just a brief standalone issue that leads to Titans number 10, which deals with, like, they're basically on an island called Dinosaur Island. Yep. Now, yeah, basically, you have Lobdell doing this issue. Now, basically, you also have issue 11. Next, you have issue 11, where it's basically a team-up story between Superboy and Bunker. Yes, it's like, oh, let's turn Superboy to a team-up book for reasons. Excuse me. Now, you have Lobdell and Tom DeFalco as the writers of this book. Yep. Most of it just Sue Bunker just hanging out in the city for an entire issue. It's a great TM story for two of them. And then we have issue number 12, where this one fully, Tom DeFalco takes over as the writer for this book. And this book mostly is called Horror. The story is called Horror is the Mind. It's mostly put, just the whole thing with this issue is that, let me show the cover here. This issue mostly just Superboy hang out in nightclub a whole issue. Yeah, that's mostly put what this issue is, just Superboy hang out in nightclub. And next comes issue number 0. Yep. Issue number 0 is next. Yep. Yeah, issue 0, which is also by Tom DeFalco, with art by R.B. Silva, mostly put. Normally, issue 0 serve as the backstory for the creation of these characters. Not the case of Superboy number 0. Now, Teen Titans number 0, that was the New 52 origin story for Tim Drake. An origin story that, from what I can tell, was not very popular with people. In the case of Batman 0, all that basically served as a backdoor pilot into 0 Year. That's mostly what it served as. And 0 Year would not come until about a year later. I'm not kidding about that. It seriously did. And also, for some reason, Volume 3 didn't collect this issue for some reason. They waited to Volume 6 to collect it, issue 0 for reasons unknown to me. Yep. So yeah, that's mostly just a story of how Harvest got his hands on the DNA that creates Superboy. Yeah, it gets ran by Harvest, who currently is deceased now. Lobdell killed him off officially in the pages of Red from Alice Volume 2. And appearance by Omen, which, of course, is not the actual Omen. Nope. This is a woman who claims to be Omen, but not actually her. The real one showed up in Titan's Hunt. Now, the next thing to discuss here is going to be the annual. Now, the annual is a tie-in to Hell on Earth. That's most of what it is. Now, I thought I had discussed it already because I thought it was collecting a trade. Apparently, it's not there for some reason. Mostly, it's just a team-up weird story with Superman and Superboy. And that's it.
Or the DMV. Number 97.
Sorry about that. That's what that's there about now. In the case of the last two issues discussed here. 1819 now. Of course, you have Lobdell come back as the writer of this book with Tom DeFalco. And of course, you have additional dialogue by Tony Lee. Why Lobdell's back in this book, I have no idea. Most of the German Psycho issue is, well, it just basically Superboy dealing with trauma stuff related to, well, it's all done by a version of Dr. Psycho. And then we have the backup story. By the way, you have guest appearance in the issue by Lex, who says that for the next issue. The whole point, and then we have this, basically this 2-page backup story where it's called Good Boy. And all this served as was basically the first appearance of Crypto. And that was it for that one. Yep. The case of 19. Yeah, basically you have Liddell back as the full writer of the book. Where, in this new backstory for Connor Kent, okay, in pre-Flashpoint, he's the clone of Superman. Same thing here. But he has a human half. In pre-Flashpoint, it was Lex Luthor. In post-Flashpoint, for some reason, it was Lois Lane. Thus making him the son of Lois and Superman for reasons unknown to anybody. Now, why in the world Lobdell did this for, I have no idea. It is by far one of the strangest ideas he did. Yes. Yeah, this is kind of like an origin story for him. It doesn't really serve much anything at all, especially since this depiction of Superboy was never seen again until they brought back the pre-Flashpoint one in the pages of Young Justice. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about these issues. I say 10 and 11 are really good. 12 is okay. Issue 0 okay. The annual interesting. 18 and 19 pretty good issues. Though I think in the case of 19, I think it's more of like a bit of a step down from what we had before. But yeah, that pretty much covers the first 19 issues of Superboy Volume 6. Now, there's technically 2 trades left to cover here. And now, I have also reviewed, aside from issue 19, I've also reviewed issue 25, because that was part of the Krypton Returns crossover, which was not very good. It was mostly served as a follow-up to Hell on Earth. And all it does is bring back Hell. That's the name of the character, Hell. It's H''AL. A guy who claimed to be a friend of Jor-El, and the guy is nothing but a big fat liar. Now, you could say the Hell on Earth storyline practically saved the Superman title, because I'm sure prior to Scott Lobdell taking over as the writer of Superman, the book was probably not selling too well. Probably because basically people were not liking the direction of the book. So I figured, okay, bringing the storyline here, this probably got people's attention enough to keep the book going. Probably not big sales that they were hoping for, but at least it would survive. Of course, the book got basically a new fresh lot thanks to Peter James Mossy under the Rebirth era before he left the book and replaced by Veronica Bendis, which I enjoy his run. Sad to say. My friend Timmy hates it. I love it. Alright, moving on to a different book, we have Superman Red and Blue. Yeah, basically the whole thing with this whole series, this 6 issues miniseries, It's basically Superman's take on Batman Black and White. And these are a series of anthology stories by various different writers. These are your writers. And it's a lot. Here we go. John Ridley, Brandon Easton, Wes Craig, Dan Winters, Margaret Bennett, Stephen T. Seagal. Surprised he came back from the book. Chuck Brown, Dan Poussin, Steph Phillips, Jason Howard, Jesse J. Howland, Nick Spencer, Brandon Thomas, Michael Faffey, James Stoke, Mark Wade, Francis Madpole, Robert Venditti, Michael Deborah Conrad, Rich Dick, Judd Winnick. Yeah, Judd Winnick came back after like a decade not doing any comics. G. William Wilson, Josh Williamson, Mark Buckingham, Darren Warren Johnson, Sophie Campbell, Matt Wagner, Tom King, Darcy Lobranger, and Rex Ogle. Your artist: Clint Henry, Steve Lerber, Wes Craig, Danny, Joe Thompson, Duncan Resolute, Dennis Cohen, John Stancy, John Poussin, Marley Zircon, Jason Howard, Laura Brigette, Michael Faffey, Brett Podolsky, Christian Ward, Francis Madpole, James Stoke, Andrew Mark, Aaliyah Martez, Kelly Hammer, John Quintes, Ibrahim Mustafa, Valentino Delario, Chris Spruce, Carl Story, Mark Buckingham, who's also of course, Dale Ward Johnson. So Campbell, Wagner, Paul Rivera, Steve Pogg, and Mike Norton. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here. Cover art is done by Gary Frank and Brandon Anderson. The whole point of this series is just to tell Superman in red and blue. Yeah. And some of them basically like that with the red and blue color scheme, which it's basically the whole point of this series. It's the same format as Black and White, where it's not essentially canon stories per se. It's just various writers writing a story for Superman. That's simple what it is. I do recommend checking it out. It's actually really good. If you want to know some of the stories in here, like there's appearance by Lex in one of the stories, from Superman. Yeah, then we have sort of something similar to Dark Knight Returns. Now, this artwork here, despite its style, it's not Frank Miller. I believe this is Klaus Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Danny, yes. There's some in almost full color. We have a story where we have Prometheus take on, of all people, the Earth 2 Superman, making his first appearance at the end of Earth 2 Society. Yeah. But, gotta love this book. Really good. I'm gonna give this book a 10 out of 10. Just that good. Okay, so that's the particular review. And that's definitely going to be a video tonight because I have no more time for videos tonight. So, tomorrow, Super Sentai and Bleach. Okay, next video. Bye.